everybody? Welcome back, Fallen Angels. Thank you for being here. If you think you like these videos, this new type of way I'm doing my videos, hit subscribe, hit the like button. Love you all for being here. Give me the opportunity to build up my channel and hopefully monetize soon. And I had a couple copyrights like I thought I was gonna have. Hopefully I straightened all that out and you guys are able to see it. But I'm going to stop the talking and I'm going to start the video right now.
This is a selection of my collection of the mud flood. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, I'll shut up in this video and let them speak. Enjoy.
Yeah, good thing they took the music off because don't want no copyright.
So many ice cream trucks out at night.
Am I missing something?
Maybe.
Am I missing something?
What the?
Hold on, this is not even the best of it.
718, Queens right there.
Come on, dogs. Why so many? I know what you're gonna say. Oh, they're filling up their ice cream trucks so they could be ready in the morning. But why so late? Why so many of them are meeting at the same spot? Why? Because it's a gas station. They all meet there to fill up their gas. You heard what's been going on with these ice cream trucks, remember? So why are there so many outside meeting up at the gas station? Who's this? Huh? Who's this guy? Because if he's in the ice cream truck serving ice cream, I don't want nothing then. Because I ain't never see this dude a day in my life. So for me to be buying ice cream off of him when he pulls up in this truck, you know what's going on here, guys. Nothing at all. Just an ice cream truck giving us ice cream. They've been doing this for years. Shout out to them. But something seems to be going on out there because people are talking about these ice cream trucks more than often, saying that people, I ain't getting no ice cream off of him. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just letting people know that all these ice cream trucks are meeting up all hours of the night at the gas station, filling their gas tank up. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm out.
Let me say too, this is all for entertainment purposes only. This entire video, entertainment purposes only. Remember that. Remember that TikTok and YouTube.
Another major earthquake off the coast of Oregon, right in the area of where that underwater volcano is. Yeah, this is getting to be almost a daily thing, at least a weekly thing. So yesterday, at the time I'm filming this, it was yesterday, a 5.8 magnitude earthquake hit off the coast of Oregon. But it's not the only one, because depending on the sources you look at, it's happening a lot. One article said that area right there had 10 earthquakes in a 12-hour period. And this isn't a one-day thing. This has been going on for months in the same area. This area right here is where that underwater volcano is off the coast of Oregon. It's also the same area where all these earthquakes keep happening. And it's on a fault line. So, is something big about to happen? in the Pacific Northwest, near Portland? I don't know, but I'd be kind of freaking out if I was in that area. Okay, Booskies, I just wanted to share this with you. Shabadoo.
In Albania, archaeologists have uncovered a large Roman burial chamber. It dates back to sometime between the 3rd and 4th century AD. It's actually the first of its kind found in Albania. The discovery came after locals noticed some strange stones on a plateau near the North Macedonian border. Excavation began early last month.
Singer and former Orthodox Jew Matisyahu recently had some workers refuse to work one of his concerts in Tucson, Arizona. And as a former huge fan of his, I found this situation really interesting. Because after the concert was canceled because some of the staff were unwilling to work, Matisyahu suggested that they were either driven by anti-Semitism or they had confused their empathy for the Palestinian people with hatred for someone like him who holds empathy for both the Israelis and the Palestinians. Basically saying these workers have no right to protest him on political grounds because he supports Israel and Palestine. But is that really true? Let's look at some of the statements that Matisyahu has made to the media since Israel began their bombing campaign that's taken the lives of over 24,000 Palestinians. First of all, he called Palestinian protesters hypocrites for not also protesting America, which he said was founded on an actual genocide, implying that what Israel's doing to Gaza right now is not an actual genocide. He's also called out celebrities who he says are too afraid to support Israel, even though it's supporting Palestine that will lose you job opportunities in Hollywood and get you attacked by the Israeli lobby. He's also parroted the Israeli narrative that this war in Gaza is to destroy.
This machine that can do this, that can manipulate time, and they are going forward in time and manipulating the timeline. Who is doing this?
I hope Lockheed isn't doing it. No, I wasn't trying to suggest that they are.
Well, how do you know that this timeline is being manipulated? How do you know that? And who do you think is doing it?
There is a researcher, Michael Cremo, who wrote a book with a guy called Richard Thompson. Thompson's a PhD in, I forget which scientific field. The book was called Forbidden Archaeology. It's a tome. It's about this thick. It's in the same general area, same general vein of research as Graham Hancock and Robert Bauval and Robert Schoch, people who study deep history, prehistory, archaeological remains from prehistory that challenge our accepted views of the historical timeline, right? Except Cremo and Thompson's work in Forbidden Archaeology is more radical insofar as they go through the history of scientific journals back into the 1800s, and they show how many discoveries there were, reported by very prestigious publications, of clearly engineered structures and artificial objects stuck in geological strata that are millions of years old. Like polished concrete walls in a stratum that dates to, 200 million years ago. Or gold chains, jewelry that's at a geological stratum of 60 million years ago. There are tens and tens of these discoveries that they present in this book that were in prominent scientific journals, and then slowly in the 20th century were filtered out of what it was acceptable to publish, given what became the standard human history taught in the academies. Mm-hmm. So there are a couple of different ways you could look at that. One is you could imagine that even though there's not much of a fossil record for it, humanity goes back hundreds of millions of years on this planet. I doubt that very much. Because again, there isn't a fossil record for it. We find dinosaur bones all the time. We don't find large populations of humans that are contemporaneous with, the Jurassic period. The other way that you could interpret those findings, though, is that human time travelers, on a very limited basis, were living in those epochs and left artifacts behind. So that's one piece of one line of empirical evidence that you could use to argue for time travel.
So you're saying that this could have been happening in the 1800s?
No. What I'm saying is that up to the 1800s, these things were reported on in scientific journals, right? Like up to the 1800s, you had Smithsonian Institution and whatever reporting on a gold locket found in a geological stratum that dates to 60 million BC.
Yes.
Right? There are lots of these finds.
But we don't know about those anymore.
We have those journals. We have access to those journals.
We still have access to
Absolutely.
the journals.
My point is, Cremo and Thompson, they wrote this tome, Forbidden Archaeology, where they go through all of this evidence. They present case after case. And they have their own interpretation of what this means, okay? Because they come from a kind of Vedantic, that's the book. They come from a kind of Vedantic background. They subscribe to form of Vedic religion. And in the Hindu religion, there is the notion that there are these vast cycles of time. They call them yugas, the ages, right? And we're in the last of them now, supposedly the Kali Yuga. But the whole cycle begins with the Satya Yuga, the golden age, and then it goes to a silver age. And the Greeks had the same thing, silver age, bronze age, until you get to our present time, which is supposed to be the last of the world ages. And this whole cycle then repeats itself. So Cremo and Thompson come from the school of thought that, look, humanity has always existed, and we are living in a fallen world. We're living in a degraded age, and we've lost our knowledge of previous ages of higher civilization. And they think this goes way, way back, like that humanity existed in its present form tens and tens of millions of years ago. I don't agree with their interpretation of their own evidence. I think that that's a religious belief system, which they subscribe to. And my much more radically empiricist, pragmatic approach to the data they're presenting is to say the best way to make sense out of this is that these artifacts were left behind by human time travelers, and that the past is contaminated by the future.
Makes sense.
The Great Lakes certainly were something. That's why on so many old world maps, before the reset, you don't see them. You do see old world Chicago though. Shilaga. That's a subject for another video if you haven't seen my past ones on that. I mean, just look how old this map is. They all show ancient towns, little castles even, all along the New World, long before they should be there. America is a lot older than we've been told. I believe these were indeed mined out and then dammed up afterwards, filled in with fresh water. Let's take a look at this video that explains the process that they went through at Lake Michigan to run groundwater, fresh water from the lake into Chicago, with just horse and buggy and hammer and chisel, mind you.
As we drain the waters from the Great Lake, Michigan, a steel column is exposed, rising 40 feet to the ocean surface. It is a water intake station. Claiming to have built this in 1865 by putting up cofferdams, pumping the water out, and then getting to the lake bottom and digging 200 more feet down. All the while take a 90-degree turn and head 3 to 7 miles back to land with no compressed air or power tools. Plus the fury of Lake Michigan and its frozen waters in the winter. These water intake stations on Lake Michigan were built prior to the filling of the reservoir that is Lake Michigan. They didn't dig down in between cofferdams to reach the bottom and dig another 200 feet down. They just simply did it before they flooded the area. It was planned, created, and implemented by the highest concentration of masons in the country, the Great Lakes.
This is the Bar Caves in India, built between 300 and 185 BC. And they say it was built with hammer and chisel, no power tools. But look at that. Look at the walls, look at the ceiling, how sharp the joins are like that. How did they do this with no lasers? This is laser technology right here. And look at this wall, look how shiny this wall is. And this is original. This is not after the fact added shine. This is granite. So, for the Matrix believers, how could they do this? And look at the floor. That floor is super smooth. You could play billiards. You could shoot pool on that floor. 8-ball corner pocket type. And look at that doorway. 90-degree angles. This looks like some modern stuff, man. 300 BC? Look at that. You're playing pool on that floor. Are you guys certain? For the Matrix believers, y'all keep saying the same thing in my videos. The story on Wikipedia compared to the final product don't match. You see what I'm saying? Look how shiny. Like, they tell you hand chisel by hand, but the final product says machine work. It says lasers. Look at how curved the ceiling is here. There's 4 different caves in this whole area, okay? And they all look like this. They all look like they were look how shiny. They all look like they were machine cut. Lasers. These caves were carved with ancient technology. I'm not sure what you're going to be able to say to convince me otherwise, because most of you guys say the same thing. The Matrix believers, you say, oh, they didn't have TikTok back then, or they had a lot of time. Oh, a lot of slave manpower. That's what you call an NPC villager response. When you're playing an RPG game and you're trying to figure out how to get past a blocked path, and you ask a villager, and they're like, oh, the answer you seek is along the path. I need to know how to get on the path to get past the blockage. The answer you seek is on the path. Like, bro, y'all keep saying the same thing. It's time to set aside the Matrix and realize that they lied to us about this stuff. They're hiding information about history. They're hiding information about ancient technology. They're hiding information about the millennial reign of Christ, which already happened. They're hiding information about the food, all kinds of stuff. The people who understand that we've been lied to, send this video to a Matrix believer. Send this to someone who's really confident in the mainstream information and see what they have to say about this.
There's no satellites out there either, nigga. There's no satellites.
They have so many compartments that break off when you go. So how is the shit the same when it lands? Yeah. Same shit takes off.
Or even the satellite.
No, there's no satellites. They are hanging satellites in the firmament. This is our GPS system. They screwing shit into the firmament, and that's the permanent GPS system. Call it space. But the space between Earth and God is called the firmament. And until he opens that up, it's going to be continued. Firmament. We're his pets. Imagine having hamsters and they wild a motherfucker. If you let them out, they eat your dog and your cats. You gotta have a cap on it, don't you? That's called the firmament. It's in the Bible. Nothing will get through the firmament.
This is how to make gasoline if World War III destroys everything, because gasoline is the bloodline of survival. It runs your engine, giving you freedom to move, and it powers your generator for electricity. Here's what you need: old plastic waste, a metal container, a smaller container, a metal pipe, and fire. Start by collecting your plastic waste, things like shampoo bottles and plastic bags. Avoid PVC and polystyrene. They release toxic gas and will absolutely ruin your day. Now cut your plastic into small pieces and put them into your metal container, then seal it tight. That's your pyrolysis chamber. Now drill a hole in the lid and attach a metal pipe. This will carry the vapor out. Connect that pipe to another container sitting in cold water. That's your condenser, where vapor turns back into liquid fuel. Finally, set your metal container over a steady campfire. Here comes the science. As the plastic heats up, it melts and breaks down into vapor. The vapor travels through the pipe, cools in the condenser, and starts dripping out as a yellowish fuel. And there you have it, homeboy. You just made crude gasoline.
That's that, like that plastiline guy. So important information. You guys might need that one day. I might need that one day too.
This is a suspicious politician trade alert. North Carolina Rep. Tim Moore is betting against the U.S. economy. Just yesterday, he revealed a purchase of this small cap bear ETF TZA, which guarantees that when small companies go down in value, this ETF goes up 3 times that. To make it even more suspicious, he sits on the House Committee for Financial Services. And if you want to stay up to date with politician stock trades, follow me for more.
I'd like to ask the committee to replay that video that Burleson had played earlier. I want to ask every witness here, specifically ones that have sensor training or have been able to recognize some of this movement real quick. So if you guys can please roll that. Okay, while this is still rolling, Mr. Nusatelli, real quick yes or no answers. Are you aware of anything in the government, United States government arsenal that can split a Hellfire missile like this?
No.
And do whatever blob thing it did and then keep going? Nothing?
Nothing.
All right, how about you, Chief?
When we were all in the caves, half of everyone born was dead before the age of 30.
Jesus.
Fast forward to 1840.
Sure.
That number went up to 35. Half of everyone born was dead by the time they were 35. So, in the tens of thousands of years between living in caves and the middle of the 19th century,
we only got 5 more
we
years.
got 5 years
Jesus.
on that. Okay? Since then, with advances in medicine, and oh, by the way, everyone back then was eating organic. Just saying. And the water was clear, the air ran pure, the game was free range. Didn't make a damn bit of difference. Science matters here, okay? All right? You can run around and eat all the organic you want.
Okay.
You'd be dead by the 30 unless some doctor came in and said, we can increase your life expectancy using science.
You're directing this at me as if I'm RFK Jr. I'm not. I'm just telling you I'm not. Okay.
Hold me back.
All right.
Let me get it.
Right now, Meta could be looking at your camera roll. So Meta have just quietly introduced this new setting that allows itself to look at your camera roll and use that as data information. Meta says this is an opt-in or opt-out thing. However, many users have reported that they've never been asked for their permission to do this. So I'm going to see if it's on mine, and it'll also be a how to get it off if you want to. Okay, so Facebook app, burger menu in the top left corner, settings and privacy, and then settings again, and then down to camera roll sharing suggestions, and yeah, mine were on blue, which is kind of crazy. So unticking those, and that should be done. Get on it.
Check yours.
If you dig a pit in the ground and build a roof over it, you can live inside. This is called a semi-subterranean house. Such homes use the soil's natural insulation, protecting against both severe cold and intense heat. But since half the house is underground, the rooms are dimly lit, and during the rainy season, waterlogging and dampness are common. So, with a clever idea, you remove the roof that blocked the sunlight and dig a courtyard about 6 to 8 meters deep. Then you excavate caves horizontally from the walls. The cave interiors are built with brick vaults for support, and windows and doors are added on the outside, allowing sunlight and air to enter. But rainwater could still flood the courtyard. To solve this, you build parapet walls around the courtyard to block surface runoff. Inside, the ground is sloped and a seepage well is dug at the center. Rainwater drains into the well, filters through the soil, and returns underground, preventing flooding. Finally, you dig a sloped entrance for easy access and plant trees around for shade. Congratulations, you've designed a Yaodong-style pit courtyard, a home that stays cool in summer, warm in winter, and perfectly blends with the earth.
Something's going on. I've seen videos. Most, I don't believe the whistleblowers. I don't believe anyone from Air Force Intelligence. I don't believe any of that. And if you have a book out, I don't believe what you're saying. If you're cleared by the DoD,
I definitely don't.
I definitely don't. If you still have clearance and you're still a contractor and you're still working with DoD, I can't. You're not a whistleblower. You're doing PR. So, with all due respect, I don't believe you guys. Matthew Brown, I think his last name is Brown, he's kind of a compelling whistleblower because he doesn't go over the top. He just says, I found evidence of, something going on in space, and that's really all he says.
Wi-Fi is where it's at.
Oh my gosh. It's insane. The thing's huge.
A scientist just released footage that's making people question everything they thought they knew about our planet. The video appeared on obscure forums at 3 a.m., spreading like wildfire before authorities could contain it. Dr. Marcus Chen, a former aerospace engineer, spent 8 months in secret, building something extraordinary. A custom Raspberry Pi drone equipped with what he calls an uncompromised lens system. Unlike the curved fisheye cameras used by NASA and weather services, his setup uses a completely flat linear lens. No digital correction, no algorithmic adjustment, just pure, unfiltered reality. On March 15th, the drone began its ascent, transmitting crystal clear footage back to Chen's hidden ground station. Everything functioned perfectly as it climbed higher than any civilian drone had gone before. At 80,000 feet, the footage revealed something that shouldn't be possible. A perfectly straight horizon, no curvature, no bend, just an endless flat line that defied everything we've been told. But at exactly 85,000 feet, something went catastrophically wrong. The drone system showed green across the board, yet something was pulling it down.
It's not mechanical failure. Something is forcing it down.
The transmission cuts to black. Chen vanished that same night. The drone was never recovered, but the footage remains.
Everyone is starting to be left speechless because of this TikTok video going viral under this sound. The exact sound should be at the bottom of this video. It is the Jet 2 holiday sound, and a bunch of people are just posting like funny videos using that sound, but the video that is going viral that I showed in the beginning that is under this sound is far from funny. Now, you may have to scroll a little bit under the sound to actually find this video, but when you do find this video, you will see exactly why everyone is being left speechless right now, because no one understands how this video is still up. It currently has almost like 64 million views right now. I would try my best to describe what is going on in the video, but I honestly can't even risk describing what is happening in this video at all, even though, it's still up for everyone to see, and it's currently one of the most viral videos on TikTok, but I just really don't want to risk it. Definitely a very interesting situation, that is for sure. Hopefully this video, gets removed very soon. I mean, it's been up for a week now, so honestly, I think it's going to just stay up at this point, but I'm definitely really curious to know your thoughts about all this.
Wonder what that was.
Here's the blue light guidelines. You can see 435 to 465. So when you leave here, if you believe anything what I told you, you go to the eye doctor and get glasses to block that at night. Every morning you get up and you make like the Sphinx. That's my practical take-homes from the whole talk. That's all you need to do. See, the hippo and the lion doesn't need to learn how to eat, neither do you. And the only reason you believe you need to learn how to eat is because you have this thing in your head that allows you to break the laws of nature. You have this. It's well known. All the things that are tied to blue light, they're out there. You don't need me to tell you. This is what happens when you have too much blue light. Your pupil gets big and you die. Okay? And you usually die first of diseases that cause the respiratory proteins to shrink out. That's Doug Wallace 101. Why? Electron chain transport slows. What happens when we give a human cyanide? Same thing, except they die right away. Well, all that's changed here is the time scale.
Your bedroom should be as dark as possible.
What do you think of these sleep masks?
I think they're great if you're sleeping in an environment where light is out of your control. If you're living in the city, you can close your blinds, but there's still light that's coming in. These things could actually be very beneficial. I don't recommend night lights in bedrooms. Even clock radios or air conditioners with LED displays on them. That's just like total light pollution to your bedroom. The best thing is no light. The second best thing is light with no blue light in it. And then the worst is blue light.
A soldier lit a candle and poured the melted wax into his mouth. He did this because the wax filled the cavity, relieving the pain and allowing him to continue in battle. Such a temporary filling could last for a few weeks, until the tooth was finally removed in the hospital. He heard whispers telling him to lie on the ground, and as soon as he did, an artillery barrage killed everyone in his trench except him. He returned to camp convinced that a dead spirit had spoken to him and saved his life. Later, the same thing happened to others who claimed to hear the dead spirit speaking just moments before a bombing. Only a few months later, scientists discovered that heavy artillery strikes produce a low-frequency rumble that travels through the ground and can sound like a strange, quiet voice.
A bullet struck a Vietnamese soldier in the head, but instead of shooting back, his comrade hid inside the trunk of a hollow banana tree. You see, those hollow trees were so tough, they could easily stop most American rounds. So Vietnamese soldiers often hid in them, sometimes even carving small holes and turning them into turrets.
This is a test to determine whether you have scopophobia. Scopophobia is the intense and irrational fear of being watched or stared at. There will be 3 phases. Each phase will progressively become more unsettling than the last. Phase 1 will now begin in 3, 2, 1. Phase 1 complete. Phase 2 will begin in 3, 2, 1. Phase 2 complete. Phase 3 will begin in 3, 2, 1.
I can see you. I am inside your closet. I know you are awake. I have been watching.
Phase 3 complete. The test is concluded.
We can see the garbage can here. A really flimsy wooden can, full. No plastic liners back then. And we can also see absolutely impeccable buildings in the background. This bank with 15-foot doors. Easy. 20 if you count this part up here. And here we have a combination of English, local and long-distance telephone pay station. And then right here we have Pharmacia, and all of this written in Espanol. And here's a little feel of the hustle and bustle downtown. Furnished room. Fine library of philosophy, misspelled. And this is what people did for the internet, hoping to read the right word, find the right information at a discount. And one more, such an intimate time. Boardwalk, the horses, the suits, women dressed in white. Okay, one more. Just a junk fest. I mean, beautiful buildings and just pouring them out, just plastering everything with cheap signage. I mean, talk about ads. Get upset about ads today. In the times of the television, it was commercials. And back then, it was just cover everything. Cheap sign. My old coffee shop had a sign like this. I specifically designed it to look like one of these old cheap signs. And it didn't have the name of my shop. It just said coffee shop. And that's just how I think. Who cares what the place is called? If you're gonna put a big sign up, let the people know what you're serving. Here, for instance, Kodak film, photo supplies, furniture and carpet, pool. Okay.
Makes sense.
Whoa! I'm above the clouds! Look at that, it's a plane!
He threw a broken fridge down the mysterious hole, and even though he waited to hear if it hit the bottom, no sound ever came back up. A neighbor threw his dead dog down there, and a few days later, it was seen running through his garden. But living dogs refused to go near it. The owner of the property lowered 80,000 feet of fishing line, attaching weights to check the depth. He even added candy to the end. In case he was hitting water, the candy would dissolve. But it still never touched the bottom. Eventually, black vans showed up, and government agents seized his land, paying the man off and sending him to the other side of the world. And to this day, no one's been able to prove anything.
August 4th, 2006, AOL, which was an early search engine like Google, released a text file on its website containing 20 million search queries from its users. These queries were collected from over 650,000 users and spanned a period of about 3 months. Whether this release was intentional or simply a private file mistakenly made public remains unclear. The users' actual names were replaced with anonymous filler numbers starting at 1, so like user 34 or user 152, but based solely on each user's searches, you could usually still find out a lot about them. The company did apologize and remove the file 3 days later, but it was already too late. Thousands of people had already copied the file and began combing through it out of curiosity. And while most of the searches were exactly what you'd expect, like users looking for restaurant recommendations, planning vacations, or searching for medical symptoms, user 927's search history stood out from the rest for just how shockingly disturbing it was. It started off quite normal, with user 927 looking up songs from
In June of 2024, a group of ghost hunters begin exploring Old Liberty High in Ohio when they begin to hear gunshots. Now Jake and his friend were the only two on the property at the time. However, they're on opposite ends of the building, so they call out for each other. And after finding a safe place, they call the police. But that's where this gets even stranger, because this school is said to be haunted, and the police end up with their own encounter. Take a look.
I'm at the Old Liberty High School. There's shots fired. Please come here quick. Pull a stick out.
Thank you all.
Yep.
We go over here.
You guys armed at all?
No, we have nothing.
Are you the callers?
Yes, yeah, we are.
So what happened?
Well, we're
back here.
We're in here filming a ghost video of all things, and I was kind of standing down here in the cellar, and it sounded like it had to have been like in this parking lot, just like 7 shots. So I ran up to him where he was up in the gymnasium, and we just heard like rattling on the door, and that's when we were like, yeah, we should probably call. The gunshots were all here. The rattling on the door and the footsteps were in the gymnasium, which is right over here.
Sheriff's office, if you're in here, make yourself known.
Now it should be noted that all of Jake's equipment is still recording inside, as they were in a hurry to leave. And as the police move in to clear the building, this happens.
There's nobody in there, but there's something in there.
Are you serious? For real?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? What?
Let me just.
For real?
So right there on the second floor.
Yes.
We were looking this way. I heard pitter patter, like that, along that. What would that be? The east wall. Yeah. And then he hears it at the end of the hallway, and as I'm taking my light down, I see something go, like dark across.
Are you guys dead ass?
Swear.
Do you have
And
body
then we were
cam?
like, no. But we were talking about you guys. We were like, let's just black out for a second. So we went completely black in there, and all of a sudden we heard movement behind us, and we just ran.
For real?
Because there's nobody in there.
Okay. Dude.
No, watch this stuff on YouTube.
Do
So,
you
like,
guys?
the Estes method and all that stuff.
Dude, that's what we do.
I figured
We have a
because I
we have
saw
a
the
channel.
chair,
Yeah, we have a channel. Yeah.
What channel are you guys?
Spirit Stalkers.
Spirit Stalkers.
Yep.
I'll watch it. I've never seen anything like that before.
No.
That's actually scared me. Good luck.
Damn. All right. Well. Great.
So if you guys need anything else or hear anything else,
Yeah.
preferably if it's a human being, let us know.
Yeah. Definitely.
Now Jake and his partner quickly gather their equipment and get out of there. But after posting this, someone had commented that her husband was one of the deputies that night, and that he still talks about this night because of how creeped out he was. I recommend watching the full thing over on their channel. I'll tag it below. But let me know what you think.
Now listen, that was crazy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed me reacting, not too much. Let you guys watch the video. I got a couple more videos lined up, reaction videos. I'm gonna keep doing them, as maybe another one tonight, if not tonight, tomorrow. But subscribe if you liked, hit the like button if you liked, and to all my fallen angels, I'll see you again.